Hey there, I'm Stephanie Mitchell. I am a former homeschooling mom of 6 kids, and I help other busy moms be more intentional with their time and with their health so that they can get more done in their busy day and just have more control over their time and feel a lot better while they're doing it. So I've had a home business for almost 16 years now, and I've built my business completely while I was homeschooling and having a bunch of babies, right? So I understand what it's like to have a lot going on and feel like you're just struggling to balance it all and keep everything together. And we find ourselves right now in the middle of the coronavirus pandemic. And so for a lot of us, we have a completely new normal, and we have a lot of other stresses in addition to the normal life stress that we always have, right? It's not like things are always a walk in the park anyway, but a lot of us are finding ourselves homeschooling now, and that's a new adventure all in itself. We're finding the stress of having the kids around all the time, trying to maybe perhaps work at home and figure out how to fit the schedule and the juggling of that and the household chores and everything else. You might have fears of getting sick or financial difficulties that you're facing. And sometimes it just feels like it all comes crushing down and it's just a lot to handle. And so I want to share with you 5 tips that can help you to quickly release stress when you're facing this intense overwhelm that might be a reality for you every single day. So the first thing that I think it's really helpful to remember is that sanity starts with a plan, okay? So routine is really important, especially when you feel like your life is kind of like had this huge upheaval. So try and stick with your routine, and when you start to feel super overwhelmed, part of it might be because you've kind of fallen off of that routine a little bit. So look at where you're at, check yourself, and just focus on doing the next thing that you need to do. And just do that next thing. So sometimes I find it helpful to like brain dump when I start to feel really overwhelmed and look at the things that I need to do and what my normal routine is and go, okay, like just take a deep breath and let's realize what's the next thing that I need to do and get into action that way. So that can instantly help to relieve some stress when you start to just feel like everything's crushing in on your mind and on your shoulders of like, oh my gosh, I've got all this stuff to do. Just taking that next step to say, okay, where's my routine? Where am I at? What do I need to be doing right now? And just kind of get back at it. So the second tip is to take a timeout, even if you feel like you can't. And what I mean by that, even when you feel like you can't, is I don't know about you, but a lot of times when I'm in the middle of my day and I'm really busy and I've got a ton of things that I need to get done around the house, or especially like right now, I'm back homeschooling my kids, of course, because the schools are closed. I'm homeschooling and I've got 4 kids that are school age that I'm trying to school, and they all seem to need my help at the same time, and the schedule's just crazy, right? And I feel like when I start to feel super stressed, dang, I really want to go out and take a walk or something, but I can't because I've got all this to do. I've got all this going on. And it's important to say, hey, wait a minute, my self-care matters, and I can do a lot better for my family and in my own mental health to be in a place to be more productive and more intentional with my time and actually get more done if I can take a step back, take a time out, even if I feel like I don't have time, or I shouldn't. So you need to do that. You need to realize, hey, your self-care and your mental health is like the most important thing in order for you to perform at your best, not only for yourself, but for your family too. So take a time out, go and get yourself a quick cup of coffee, go outside for 5 minutes, take a 10-minute walk around the block, go somewhere where you can have some time to yourself just for a few minutes and get that recharge, because even a few minutes can reduce your stress level a lot. And just take some deep breaths, allow that cortisol level to come down, and just allow yourself to take that little break. The third tip is to use constant affirmations. So a lot of us are familiar with affirmations and doing affirmations like at a certain time of day, like, oh, every morning I do my affirmations, whatever. That's great, fine. That's a good practice to get into. But I think that it's even more powerful if you can remember to do affirmations throughout your day. So one thing that I think is easy to fall into is when we start to feel stressed, we think in our head, like we get this, the stress level goes up, that's activated in our brain, and we're like, I can't do this. I can't do this. This is so hard. I'm so mad. I'm so frustrated. I'm so overwhelmed. And all those things, all they do when you tell your brain, oh, I'm so frustrated, I'm so overwhelmed, you've now put a block in your mind of like getting past it. And so you're going to find more things that you're frustrated about, that you're overwhelmed about, that you're stressed about. And so when you find yourself getting into that, going down that trail of that negative thought process, if you can stop that and repeat affirmations in your mind throughout the day when you start to feel stressed, it can help so much, because you're training your brain to have this empowering feeling like, hey, I can do this. So just some simple affirmations when you're stressed is, I got this. I can do this. I'm powerful. And even also just asking yourself the question, from going from I'm stressed, I can't do this, this is so hard, to saying, how can I make this better right now? What can I do right now to make this better? Open up your mind, activate your brain into a pattern of looking for solutions rather than looking for things to create more struggle and more hardship in your mind and in your emotions. So I think the affirmations throughout the day are so helpful, even as you repeat them over and over, even if you don't believe it, even if you don't feel it, even if you feel so inadequate, but you continue to repeat to yourself, I got this, I can do this, I can do this. And thinking gratitude thoughts, those things can help reduce your stress level immediately, literally, because if you're like, hey, I got this, I can do this, and it's like, okay, yeah, I can do this. So let's just do the next thing. Let's get back in that routine. Let's just do the next thing. Tip number 4 is release your perfectionism right now. Like, realize when you start to feel overwhelmed, a lot of times it's like because you feel like you are stressing out because you can't get things done the way that you want them, or your routine isn't going exactly the way you want. Things aren't going exactly the way that you feel that they should. And perfectionism is really a point of pride. It's a point of pride where it's like, I have to have this a certain way. And for me right now, I'm finding that with trying to do school with so many kids, especially different grades and whatever, you want to check off all the boxes, right? You want to get everything done. And this might just be with your work or whatever. You got to get the to-do list done. You got to get this done. Like, I got every assignment in. Like, this kid has all these subjects and I need to get all of their subjects done every single day. And listen, when you start to feel that pressure and you know that you can't get to everything, you have to tell yourself, like, okay, the perfectionism isn't serving me. It's not serving my family. It's not helping me to be more productive. And so you have to drop the perfectionism and realize, like, there's no such thing as being perfect and like getting every single thing done in a perfect way. And so give yourself grace and drop the perfectionism and realize that done is better than perfect, and you do what you can do and you do the best you can do, and you have to let the rest go. And hey, listen, realize that you don't get a trophy for beating yourself up. Seriously, you don't get a trophy. Like, you can spend your entire day feeling like a piece of crap and so crazy stressed out because you're not getting everything done the way that you want to get done. And you are no better off at the end of the day. That stress that you are allowing yourself to hold on to isn't getting the thing done. It's not helping you be productive at all. It's not helping you it's not serving you. It's not helping you to get closer to your goal of the day or whatever it is that you're working towards. You are not helping yourself at all. You are just shooting yourself in the foot by using this perfectionism as a beating stick to stopping you from getting everything done, or feeling like I have to get it all done and here I am and I can't and I feel like crap about it. Okay, so you feel like crap about it. Does that make it better? It doesn't. You've got to just realize, like, okay, I gotta let this go, and realize that's a choice. You do have a lot more control over your emotions than you think. We don't have control over everything that happens to us, right? But we have control over the way that we choose to react to it. Even if we have emotions that are not so healthy and emotions that we don't love right at the get-go, you can check yourself and help, with training your brain to see things in a little bit of a different way and try and get yourself out of it. And so I think that's really helpful. And the fifth tip that I love to do is I love to use essential oils when I start to feel stressed. And it's not just because like, oh, I smell a bottle of lavender and like it's a pretty smell and it just seems to like make me feel a little better. The thing about it is that when you smell essential oils, they get to your brain almost instantaneously. So the fastest way to your brain is through your olfactory bulb, which is right up here in your nose, right? So you smell these aromas, these aromatic molecules, and they cause a cellular change within seconds in your brain and actually all the way throughout your entire body. So I was shocked when I learned that like, okay, there's a reason why they say that oils can help with stress. It's so much more than just saying like, oh, well, the smell of, like I said, a lavender flower or a rose can help, encourage a sense of calm or whatever. It really is more than that. It's really powerful the way that you can get this complete systemic cellular change throughout your body by doing that. So when I start to feel really stressed, I implement a lot of these tips that I've given you all into one, and I take, I'll just choose whichever one of my favorite essential oil blends or even single oils that I love, that I know help me to stay calm. And I've got a few different stress blends that I tend to go to. They're like a calming blend or a grounding blend that has grounding oils in it, like frankincense and spruce and stuff like that. These grounding oils, like think of oils from trees that ground in the ground. And so they do the same thing for us. So I use oils like that, or, oils that have lavender and Roman chamomile, these types of things. And I just take them, and you can put them in a diffuser, or I put them in my hands and just cup my hands over my nose and take a deep inhale in and just allow myself to take that in, breathe a few minutes, take some time to myself. And this, like, research has shown that when you do this, it will help lower your cortisol levels. And cortisol, as you know, probably is the stress hormone. So it's more than just like a nice idea. There's science behind it. So I like to do that for sure. And essential oils are something that I specialize in. And so I have natural wellness workshops. If you want to learn more about the science behind oils and how to use them, you can always feel free to send me a private message on Facebook, and I can get you the details for our next wellness workshop, or you can email me at oils@yourchildbirthguide.com and reach me there. And those are my 5 tips for you. So I hope that helps you, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.